experience of the witness.
Okay, let's hear you.
Thank you.
Can I not answer that?
Okay. When were you employed as the police officer?
24 January 2011.
24th of January 2011.
Okay. Did you receive any training when you were employed?
Yes.
Yes. What kind of the training?
Training enjani? The police training.
Yes, which entails what?
Yes,
Tell us. Just tell us the kind of training that you received when you were employed.
It's a police training.
It is called police training.
Yes. What?
Yeah.
Were you told to type? Were you told to do what? Just tell me what kind of the training, what type of the training that you received?
I think that I got the training that all the police officers got.
No, I'm not asking about the one that is given to all other police officers. I'm asking the one that was given to you.
It didn't happen that I got trained alone. I was trained together with the other police officers.
Okay, the one that you received with your team at that particular time. You can just summarize the main duties or the main part of the training that you received.
Basic police training.
Basic police training.
Okay. Were you trained about the handling of the firearm?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of training you received about handling of the firearm?
Training A1 it's a basic training.
The same training, or it is incorporated within the same training of the basic.
Okay.
Basic training, yes.
So it means you have information on how to handle the police firearm.
Not only the police firearm, a firearm.
Not as it has been responded to by the witness himself in English.
In your examination in chief, you testified that you gave your firearm, your state firearm, to someone else.
Yes.
And that was wrong.
Once again, request that these provisions of Section 203 have already been explained, but they once again be explained.
The witness, if it's his right if he says, I elect not to answer that.
But you are an officer of this court. This court has already made a ruling about that.
Unfortunately, it's part of the witness examination in chief. That's why I had to go. I had to put questions to that effect because it's part of the examination in chief, which was introduced by the same witness, incriminating himself under oath. So that's why I'm asking this clarity question, my lord.
What's your response, sir? You know your rights. What's your response?
What is your question, Mshololo?
Yeah, I was saying it was wrong what you did. For giving your firearm to someone else.
Let me not answer that one.
And
earlier on, the witness said that is in accordance with your statement or your version.
Sorry, that was...
Earlier on, he said that, according to you, that was wrong. But let me not answer that question.
And do you agree with me that if a person gives his firearm to someone or to other person who is not licensed to possess that firearm, that is an offense?
I know that.
Okay. And you have testified under oath that you have handed your firearm to someone else who was not licensed to possess that firearm belonging to you.
I wouldn't know whether he's got a license, but I've got my reasons as to why I handed him the firearm.
But you were the only person who was licensed to possess that firearm.
Do you know whether Gwabeni is licensed or not?
Sorry, my lord.
Gwabeni, do you know whether he's licensed or not? If you do, of course, fine.
My lord, I'm saying in respect of the state firearm which the witness was allocated.
But you're alluding to a firearm which apparently was handed to Gabeni. Whether Gabeni has a license or not, do you have knowledge about that, or your client rather?
No, my lord, I think that was not line of my question. My line of question was that, my lord,
Who is supposed to be having a license and not to be given a firearm by this witness?
the person who's supposed to have the license is the
It was
witness.
supposed to be whom?
Sorry, my lord?
It was supposed to be whom?
Yes, supposed to be the witness only, not the person whom
He has a firearm. He has a firearm.
Yes, my lord.
So he's handing that firearm to somebody else, and it's supposed to be whom?
Who did not have the license to put.
right. It's whom?
According to his evidence, that was Gwabini, my lord.
He never said that. Gwabeni didn't have a license.
My lord, can I engage a witness regarding that, other than engaging the court? Because the witness is the one who is testifying, and I need clarity, my lord, as to who had the firearm to possess the state firearm, which was allocated to
You
him.
can do that, but
Yes.
I can't allow you to make a statement which was never made by this witness.
My lord, I can rephrase if the court...
I read you this thing yesterday.
Yes.
I read. A judge is not a mere umpire to answer the question, how is that? Lord Benning once said, fairness of court proceedings requires of the trier to be actively involved in the management of the trial, to control the proceedings, to ensure that public and private resources are not wasted, to point out when evidence is irrelevant, and to refuse to listen to irrelevant evidence. A supine approach towards litigation by judicial officers is not justifiable either in terms of the fair trial requirement or the context of resources. And I said this case by 5 judges. Case is Taken Safe Trading CC and others versus Standard Bank of South Africa, Limited 2004-4 SA. That's what they say I must do, not me. 5 judges, okay. So when you say I interfere, I'm just following the dictates of the law. That's all.
My lord, I do not have a problem with the
Okay,
authorities
fine. Continue.
and the case law. The court has just referred to this court, but my question to this witness is on the clarity
Yes, fine. Ask it, ma'am. Ask it.
regarding the clarity on the issue of handling the firearm. My question was, between the two of you, who had a license to possess the same firearm? I'm referring to the state firearm that was allocated to you.
Okay. I'd like you to answer that one.
Okay. And then, were you doing normal shift, or you were working 5 days a week? What kind of the office hours you were doing at the time of October, especially on the date of the 24th of October?
Abantu ngisebenza 24 hours uba ma rest day kodwa ngiqashwe njengomuntu osebenza 24 hours.
There would be rest days in between, but I have been employed to work 24 hours a day.
Okay. So you were supposed to knock on duty at what time?
I knock
On the
off at 1
24th.
o'clock. On the 26th.
On the 26th, you knocked on duty at
I
what
said I
time?
knock off before 1 o'clock because event yami yayikade phela ngaleso sikhathi, so umsebenzi wami awuphelile for that day.
Now, my event was done before that time, and therefore I'm saying that I knocked off before 1 o'clock on that day.
Oh, okay. And when had you knocked on duty?
Why an emsebenzi?
Ekseni
Yes, at what time?
ngicabanga ngo 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
I think it was 8 o'clock.
Okay. And from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock, a state vehicle was allocated to you.
24 hours, yebo.
Okay. And in
24
that,
hours, yes.
and for that state vehicle, you would have been allocated with a logbook. Am I correct?
Yebo.
Yes.
And the logbook is meant to record all the movements and the traveling that we have traveled on each and particular day.
Kunjalo.
Yebo.
It is so, yes.
Can we get the logbook for this vehicle, because it was a state vehicle,
Singatholi?
to show
Logbook.
that
Yeah,
it traveled from Tembisa, as we have stated, to Johannesburg CBD and to Hostel Hostel on the 26th of October 2014.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ngakuthola kumqashi wami angiwakhipha ama-document ase-SAPS.
I think that will be found from, or it will be retrieved by my employer. Personally, I cannot retrieve that.
Who is
SAPS
your
documents.
commander? No problem, we're going to ask that. Who is your commander?
Ngicabanga ukwanginikeza igama lo-commander oyi-1 akekho responsible for ama-logbook ami. I-SAPS in general, ama-logbook ayakhona.
What input?
Ngithi ama-document awayi commander yami, kodwa sole commander kimi aye kwi-SAPS.
My documents don't necessarily go to a specific commander of mine. They just go to the SAPS administration.
Yeah, SAPS where?
Gopi,
Tembisa?
Tembisa Police Station.
Yes.
that's correct.
Okay. Then we'll be able to get these records at Tembisa Police Station.
Angeke ngikwazi ukufakaza angisebenze archives.
I won't be able to attest to that. I'm not working in archives.
Okay. Is it your evidence that you can't produce the documents to prove the travelings that you traveled on the date, which is 26 October 2014?
As the witness said, the logbook can be retrieved.
Is the question disallowed, my lord?
I don't know, what do you think? Because you say it is his evidence that he can't produce, and yet he told you that these books go to the South African police officers.
Yes, but it is duty, my lord, to give us information where we can
Yeah,
get
fine,
them.
but you can't say his evidence is that he can't produce them.
Yes.
And when I want to correct that, I'm supposed to be interfering.
Thank you, my lord. Can you respond?
I couldn't respond a lot.
18.
That you could not prove, you could not produce in this court the records confirming that you traveled to Hostel Hostel on the 26th of October.
Uma uthi ngeke ngikuprove mhlawumbe usho ukuthi mhlawumbe onke ama-document ase-SAPS ngeke ngikwazi ukuwalanda. I-SAPS mina ngihambise i-SAPS ngicante i-SAPS ekwaziyo ngalokho.
If you say that I cannot prove, it means that I won't be able to retrieve the documents at SAPS. I took the documents and I gave them to SAPS, and they are in the hands of the SAPS.
Okay. Let's move on. At what time did you meet with Makosonke? In Joburg.
Ngicabanga ngabo-01 because ngisuke ngabo-1, 1 to 2 lapho.
Around 1 o'clock. Because I left about 1 o'clock, 1 to 2 o'clock.
Okay. And what time did you leave to Hostel?
Why first of all,
Ngangingabhekanga isikhathi, ngafika ngesikhathi sasemini.
I didn't check the time. I arrived during the day.
Yeah, during the day. After how long? After 2 hours, after 3 hours, because midday between 1 and 2 you are in Joburg CBD.
1, 2 o'clock was at Joburg CBD.
Ngikwazi kanjani ukuthi ngithatha ama-hour amabili eJoburg.
How do you know that it takes 2 hours to Joburg? Or from Joburg?
Listen, Mr. Zungu, you are not
Ulalele.
asking me questions.
Ulalele.
Please answer the question. Just learn that culture. Have you testified before in court?
Usuke wathola ubufakazi bakhe enkantolo phambilini?
Kuphendule kulokho yebo.
Yes.
When the question is put to you, yours is to answer.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
you-
ask me question back, because I'm not going to answer you.
Uma ubuzwa umbuzo wena ke iqhaza ekumele ulibambe lana ukuthi uphendule awubuzi imibuzo wena
I'm
uyaphendula.
asking an estimate from the hours that have been given by you that you were in Johannesburg between 1 and 2. Then I'm saying, after how long?
Ngeke ngikwazi uku-estimate.
I won't be able to estimate.
Okay. And then what time did you arrive at Hostel?
Wafika ngobani isikhathi e-hostel?
Angikhumbula isikhathi.
I cannot remember the time.
Okay. At what time did you see accused number 5 at Hostel?
Wambona ngobani isikhathi accused number 5 e-hostel?
Nini imizuzwana nje ngifikile ngambona.
A few minutes or a few seconds after I'd arrived at the hostel, then I saw him.
And also you can't recall time.
Nalokho
No,
angekwazi
isikhathi cha.
ukuqiniseka. Yes,
Masipala phansi.
yes, I wasn't generalizing time.
Okay. And am I correct to say it was your first time to see accused number 5 on that particular day?
Beku okokuqala ubona umangalela wesihlanu ngalelo suku.
Ukukhuluma naye kwangokuqala.
Talking to him, it was the first time.
Okay. To see accused number 5, what is the answer?
Ukumbona yena,
Ngangambona before.
I
Where?
once saw him before.
Where?
Kuphi?
Ngengikhumbula ukuthi ngikuphi kodwa ngangambona bengimazela somewhere kodwa bengazi ngikhulume naye.
I cannot remember where exactly did I see him before.
The
It's
reason why
only
you
that I saw him, but I didn't have any conversation with him there.
the reason why you cannot remember where you had seen him is because you are lying. You've never saw him before.
Isona ke sizathu. Khuluma manga awukazi umbone phambilini.
Makusho wena.
According to what you are saying.
You said, how did you know his name that we have referred to this court?
Liphi le kankani?
Is it which one? The Nkani name?
Yeah, that's what you said.
Ilo
You don't
kathi.
ask me.
Ungabuzi mina.
Okay.
Okay.
How did you know that name?
Ulazi kanjani lelo gama?
Ngoba bengimazi.
That is because I knew him.
Cha ntonke umuntu ebelazi ngalelo gama.
I think everyone knew him by that name.
Accused number 5 would tell this court that he was never at Hostel where you were on the 26th of October 2014.
Qamba manga.
He's lying.
Then let's move on. You testified that you saw 2 people exchanging guns, firearms.
Yes. Yes. We have ukuthi yebo ngikutshilo lokho ukuthi ngibona
And
abantu
at that-
ababili ba exchange ibhamu.
And at that particular time, you were a police officer.
Ubu iphoyisa ngalelo sikhathi.
Yebo.
That is correct, yes.
And you failed to do your duties to report the unlawful activity that happened in front of you.
Wahluleka ke wena ukuthi ureporte lento eyayingekho emthethweni eyayenzeka nje phambi kwakho.
Angihlulekanga ngoba ukhona namhlanje futhi ummele. Iyo le ngayenza.
Angizwa?
Angihlulekanga ukuyenza ingakho ngayenza ingakho simile namhlanje mmele.
I did not fail to do that. That is why we are standing here today.
At the time when you witnessed that incident, you did not act. Am I correct? Which is
Ngaleso sikhathi-ke,
October 2014.
Mubona lesi sigameko azange ukuthatha inyathelo nge-26 October 2014.
Okusalayo ngiyithathile inyathelo ngoba silapha namhlanje. Ngakwenza lokho.
What remains is that I eventually took the steps. Or
Yes.
I
But
did something about it because we are here today.
Right now, Constable, I'm being specific on the 26th of October, when
Khuluma nge-26 October
you
2014.
saw the unlawful activity happening in front of you.
Nasi isigameko ke esingekho semthethweni senzeka uyabona ukuthi senzeka phambi kwakho akho lutho walenza wena nge-26 October 2014.
Wangenasidingo sokuthi ngi-act ngaleso sikhathi ngoba ngangebe nayo evidence unayo namhlanje.
There wasn't a need for me to can act immediately during the time because I did not have then the evidence that you have today.
As a police officer, you had a legal duty to arrest
Yes.
those people who were exchanging guns. You had a duty to call other police officers to come and arrest those people so that further investigations can be done. And you failed to execute your duties.
Awuzange ukwenze lokho wathi ukwenza lokho njengephoyisa ke ubufaneleke ngokuphela ke kusemahlombe kuwena ukuthi uma ubona abantu benza into engekho semthethweni njengoba ubona abantu ba exchange ibhamu ubufanele ukuthi ke wena ubabambe ngaleso sikhathi awukwenzanga ke
Ukuphendula lokho Mshololo. Ukubopha umuntu akusho ukuthi sekuyizathu it's a final decision. Wayazi ukuthi uzoboshwa nangakusasa noma yini.
now
Njengoba bakwazi ukuthi agcine eboshiwe ngeevidence ayikhona. Malelo la ngizothi yini engibophela yona.
arresting a person is not the final decision that a person can make because that person knows that they are still going to be arrested. At that time, what information was I going to provide to him for his arrest?
Had you executed your duties properly, had you reported, had you called the police would have arrived and apprehended the suspects and confiscated the 2 firearms that you have testified about.
Kube wakwenza lokho waripotela amaphoyisa wabiza amaphoyisa bezoza ke ezobamba labasolwa kanti ke nalezi ibhamu ke beyothathwa bathathelwa zona lezi ibhamu.
Ngoba unasiqiniseko ukuthi ayingathi efika amaphoyisa amanye maybe backup wathole sesana lezo bhamu ingakho ukwazi ukuthi namhlanje ukwazi ukuzobamela ngoba amaphoyisa kwakumele enze every investigation yawo akwazi ukuthola ukuthi kwenzakaleni bese yababopha ingakho bamele namhlanje.
Now, there had to be investigations that had to be conducted by the police to ascertain what offense did they actually commit. Because we are not sure that when upon the arrival of the police would have indeed found them in possession of those firearms. That is why you are here today and representing them today.
But you hid the crucial information to report, to call other police to come and apprehend, so that a further investigation could have been done on those 2 firearms.
Wagqiba ke ulwazi olwalumqwa kakhulu ukwenza ke ukuthi amaphoyisa akwazi ukuthola ulwazi akwazi uphenya ngalo lwazi ukuze ke egcineni ke bakwazi ukuboshwa labantu.
Uqinisekisa ngaqinisekisa ukuthi lolo lwazi luhlala ligcinekile ukuze mase lidingeka njengoba lidingeka namhlanje lokwazi ukuthi litholakale.
As far as keeping that information, I did, or that knowledge, I did keep that knowledge safe so that today we may be able to be acting on that knowledge.
But on the 26th of October, the police were not called to come and confiscate the accused.
26 is October 2014. Amaphoyisa zanga abizwe ukuthi mageze ke azothatha lezi ibhamu.
Ngasebenzisa discretion yami ukuthi angenayo evidence enough.
I used my discretion to say that I do not have sufficient evidence or enough evidence.
Was there a police station next to the hostel where you witnessed the unlawful activities of the exchange of firearm in front of you?
Kwakhona ke police station eseduze nalapho hostel khona la wabona ku exchange ibhamu khona.
Ngangise hostel ngangayibonanga police station.
I was at the hostel.
Ngisebenzisa ulwazi lami lokuthi kuphi police station kodwa ngaleso sikhathi ngangayibonanga police station.
On that day I did not see the police station. I cannot use my knowledge pertaining the whereabouts of the police station. But on that day I was at the hostel, I didn't see the police station.
At the hostel, you testified that there were many people moving in and out. Is that your evidence?
Yebo.
Yes, that was my evidence.
It's better to wait for the interpretation.
I
I do appreciate that you understand English.
Understood.
Okay. Did you know any person out of the people who were coming in and out the hostel, besides Kwabini, Makosonke, and the accused as we have testified, other than those people?
Ngaphandle kukaGwabini Makhosini nabomangalelwa njengoba usufakazile ngabe khona abantu bubazi khona lapho kulabo abantu abebengena bophuma khona lapho ehostel.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay, who were those? If you can still recall.
Uma ngabe usakhumbula.
Ngisabakhumbuli abanye ngikhumbulayo mention leyo ngasekho.
I cannot remember those people, but the one person that I can still remember is the one that you have mentioned.
Okay.
That had passed on.
But there were people that you knew.
Kodwa babekhona abantu bubazi.
Yebo babekhona.
Yes, there were people that.
Did you report to any of those people that we have seen people exchanging the firearms?
Ngabe waripota komnye walabo bantu kanye waripota
kubo?
Awungilindi. Ngabe khona ke kulabo bantu baziyo ke oke waripota kubona ukuthi sengibone exchange ke kwebhamu azange.
Hayi akayikho ngaripota kuyo.
There isn't any person that I reported that to.
Okay. Did you know anyone who was responsible for the hostel?
Khona omaziyo ke okuyena ke obebheke khona lapha ke eqaphe khona lapha ne hostel.
Uhlala khona uqaphile.
A person, a caretaker, a person that is residing there or that is looking.
Yes, it can be caretaker. Anyone who was responsible for the.
I don't have the knowledge of that.
Did you try and find out who is the responsible person for the hostel in order for you to report this exchange of firearms?
Ubani umuntu responsible la, ubani oqaphile khona la, olawulayo la kule hostel. Ukwenzela ke ukuthi ukwazi ukuyoreporta lesi sigameko kuyena. Wazi amthola.
Angikwenzanga lokho.
I didn't do that.
Were you allowed to drive a state vehicle to the hostel?
Uvumelekile okanye ubugunyaziwe ukuthi udrive imoto yombuso ukuya khona lapha e-hostel?
Yebo.
Yes.
Going with the state vehicle to the hostel, was it part of your duties?
Bekuyingxenye yomsebenzi wakho ukuya khona lapha ke e-hostel ngemoto yomsebenzi?
Kwakuyingxenye ngangisenza umsebenzi wami njengoba ngisebenza ngayo, ngangisebenza ngayo 24 hours.
Given the fact that this was a work-related vehicle and I was using that vehicle for 24 hours,
What
it was
duties?
a part of my duty.
What duties were you doing in hostel at
Ubuwenza
that time?
muphi umsebenzi khona lapha e-hostel?
Ehostel abengaya ngiyosebenza ngithe ngangivakashele.
At the
Umntwana
hostel,
wami.
at the hostel, I didn't say that I had gone to work there. I said that I had gone to visit
Yeah,
at the hostel.
then visit was not part of the duties.
Lokho ukuvakashela ke kwakunge ingxenye yomsebenzi wakho.
Wangesiyona.
It wasn't a part of my duty.
Was it also evidence that when you arrived there, you drank meat and you drank alcohol and ate meat?
Ngabe ubufakazi bakho obuthule ukuthi uma ufika lapho ke nadla inyama okanye wadla inyama waphuza notshwala?
Yebo.
Yes.
Was that part of the duties you were allowed to was that part of the duties you were allowed to execute with a state vehicle?
Lokho okwakwenza ke kwaba ingxenye ke yomsebenzi wakho owawenza usebenza imoto yombuso.
Ukudla inyama nokuphuza utshwala kusumsebenzi wami.
Now eating meat and drinking liquor, that is not part of my work.
Do you agree that it was your private visit? It was not the official visit.
Uyakuvuma lokho ukuthi ukuvakasha nje private?
Yebo.
That is correct, yes.
And that was not supposed to be done with a state vehicle.
Nokuthi lokho bekungafanele ukuthi kwenziwe ke ngemoto yombuso.
Angikwazi ukuthi kusho kakuphi lokho.
I do not know why you saying that.
Is it your evidence that at that time you were stationed at Senzani police station? Senzani police station?
Ubusebenzisa Senzani police station ngaleso sikhathi?
Chabo.
No.
Where were you stationed?
Ubusebenzela kuphi?
Tembisa.
Tembisa.
Tembisa police station.
Yebo.
That's correct.
Who was Sebenza Hospital? Sebenza police station. What did you say about Sebenza police station?
Utheni ngesebenza police station?
Ngalalela. Ngithe ngisebenza esebenza now. Manje.
I said that I am working at Sebenza right now, not then.
At that time you were at Tembisa police station?
Yes.
Okay. Who was the station commander? Who was the station commissioner of Tembisa police station at that time?
Angizamkhumbuli.
I-
Bashintshe baningi.
I can't remember him. That post was actually, a lot of people were exchanging that particular post.
But on that
Number.
particular day, especially 26 October, to whom were you reporting to at Tembisa station?
Ubu-reporter kubani
Njengoba sengishilo ngisakhumbula ukuthi kwakuba no-station commander, ngicabanga ukuthi ungakuthola e-SAPS ukuthi kwakuba no-station commander.
As I have already indicated that I cannot remember who the station commander was, perhaps at the police station you can then find who the station commander was on that day, okay, or during that.
You cannot
time.
recall the station commander, you cannot recall the relief command, your relief commander as well.
No relief commander yena awumkhumbuli.
We have allowed this close examination, but all these issues are collateral issues. Once a witness is given an answer on a collateral issues, it cannot be explored any further. We submit, my lord, that the further cross-examination on all these collateral issues should not be allowed.
Yes, continue, Mr. Mshololo.
Thank you, my lord. You further testified that as you were sitting there, okay, before I go there, you said you saw accused number 5 at the hostel. What was he doing when you saw him for the first time? For the first time, when you arrived?
Uthi uma ngabe wesihlanu wambona khona lapha ne-hostel, okokuqala mambona uma ufika khona laphayana bekenzani?
Ngizothi bekhona ngaphakathi ukuthi benzani.
I would say he was
Wasn't
just
ngaphakathi
inside as to what was he
Nabani?
doing. He was with the others inside of the house.
You cannot tell what he was doing.
Angiyakwazi ukusho ukuthi ubenzani.
Okay. What was he wearing?
ubegcoke njani?
If you
ivest
can-
white,
He was wearing a white vest
nesigqoko samasotsha,
and the military hat.
And what else?
yilokho engikukhumbulayo.
That's what I remember.
And you further testified that as you were sitting there, you were asked by a certain gentleman that accused number 5 wanted you to remove your car in order for him to be able to go out.
Khona umliso wakutshela ukuthi umangalelo wesihlanu ucela ukuthi wena ususe imoto yakhe ukuthi akwazi ukuphuma.
Yebo,
Yes.
And in your examination in chief, on the appearances of the 7th of September, you said it was a certain gentleman who asked you to give away of accused number 5. You remember that?
Uyakhumbula lokho? Ukuthi khona ke umliso othize ke owacela ukuthi ufanele ukuthi wena ususe imoto yakho uvulela umangalelo wesihlanu indlela.
yebo,
Yes.
But today you are now saying it was narco.
Namhlanje uthi unako.
yebo,
Yes.
Why are you changing?
Manje usushintshelane ke?
ngishintshe kuphi?
Where did I change?
You said whilst you were seated, accused number 5 then requested a certain gentleman.
Uthi ke wena ke ngikathi usahleli phansi umangalelo wesihlanu wase ucela umliso othize.
To ask me to just give way because I was parked right behind him so that I could just reverse. I did that and I went back inside.
Ngicela ke ukuthi mangimvulela indlela ke ngoba ngangipaka emva kwakhe ngakwenza ke lokho.
Uma uthi omunye umlisa ukuthi ngimkhumbula ukuthi igama lakhe angiboni kuyinkinga kulokho.
If you say the other gentleman, the fact that I may have forgotten his name, I don't see any problem with that.
Okay, but you agree that you did not say that it was narco.
Uyavuma ke lokho ukuthi azange ukuthi unako.
Angeke
In your
ngikhumbule
examination in
kodwa
chief.
ngikwazi ukuthi ngiyazi ukuthi kona weza ke mangicela mangimkhumbula ukuthi ubani ngiyakhumbula ukuthi uyena.
I cannot remember as to whether at the time did I say that I didn't say that it was narco. But if I had remembered his name, I had. But all I can remember is that there is a person that came to me and asked me that I should go and shift the vehicle.
Okay. And what was the registration number for the car that you say it was driven by accused number 5?
Registration yemoto yakho ukuthi ibishayelwa nguye umangalelo wesihlanu.
Ngangahambi ukubhala ama registration.
I didn't go about writing down the registrations.
Did you look at it or you did not?
Uye wayibheka noma cha?
Noma kuthiwa ngayibheka kodwa ngeke ngiyikhumbule ukuthi yiphi
Even if it means that I have had a look at it, I cannot remember now.
So the answer is that you can't recall the registration number of the vehicle that you say it was driven by accused number 5.
yebo.
That's correct.
When accused number 5 left, according to your evidence, did he leave alone or with someone?
Makahamba accused number 5 wahamba yedwa okanye khona umuntu wahamba naye.
Ukhuluma ngayiphi incident?
Which incident in particular?
When accused number 5 left.
Umangalelo wesihlanu makahamba.
We are now when accused number 5 is asking you to reverse in order for him to go out.
Angisho silapho wahamba nobani wahamba yedwa.
Mangicabanga ukuthi uhamba yedwa ngazi ukuthi uhamba nobani angambheka.
I think
ngivesela ngabe ngapha.
I think he left alone. I only went to reverse my vehicle. And
You're
then
not
I
sure?
went to park again.
Yeah,
You're
ukuthi
not
uhambe
sure?
nobani angimbonanga.
As to who he left with, I did not see him. I did not witness him.
Okay. Accused number 1, 2, 3, and 4 remained behind when accused number 5 left.
Umangalelo wokuqala wesibili wesithathu nowesine basala ngenkathi uhamba umangalelo wesihlanu.
Mshololo akusho ukuthi makuhamba uyi1 sekuhamba uyi1. Omunye wayiphuma wayengena njengoba ngikutshelile ekuqaleni. Ukuthi uphumile accused number 5 ngamrevesela. Angeke ngifike endlini ngibheke ukuthi basekhona accused number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Look, the accused person number 5 requested that I should reverse for him. When a person stands up and walks out and then come in, as I've already indicated, that people were walking in and out. And after I had reversed for accused number 5, I couldn't go into the house and check as to whether accused number 2, 3, and 4 were still there.
Okay. So you don't know whether the rest of the accused also left when accused number 5 left?
Awunaso isiqiniseko salokho ukuthi uma
You don't know.
umangalelo wesihlanu nabo bonke laba bangalelo bahamba nabo. isiqiniseko sakhona unaso.
ngesikhathi ehambile nabanye bahamba babuya abanye bangena baphuma bokusesemini.
It was still during the course of the day. At the time that he had left, the others also walked out and came in. Others came in and then walked out. So it was during the course of the day.
Yeah, remember, this is your evidence. I want clarity there, whether accused number 5 left with someone else or they left in different times. Just give us one answer.
Sicela ukuthi usinikeze impendulo nje eyodwa.
If anyone left.
Uma ngabe khona omunye oye wahamba, phela ukhumbule ukuthi umangalelo wahamba, umangalelo wesihlanu. Sifuna ukwazi ukuthi umangalelo wesihlanu wahamba yedwa, nokuthi ke uma abanye bahamba nishuthi ke ngeenkathi ezihlukene.
Njengoba ngishilo ukuthi ngeke ngikwazi ukukhumbula ukuthi omunye uhambe ngoba isikhathi ngomunye uhambe ngoba isikhathi.
As I've already said, I cannot remember what time the other one left and what time also
The reason why you cannot recall, is it because we had consumed alcohol? Because you were drinking Jameson?
Ngabe isona lesi sizathu senza ukuthi ungakhumbuli ingoba ubuphuze utshwala beniphuza iJameson.
Kodwa le Jameson yangenza ngakhumbula accused number 5.
And the same Jameson made me remember accused number 5.
Yeah. So you admit that it's because of the fact that you had consumed alcohol, that is why you could not see who left at what time, who left at what time.
Sir has said it's putting weights in the witness.
Don't misquote the witness.
Can I rephrase the question, my lord? The reason why you could not see clearly if there was any of the accused who left or did not leave, it's because you had consumed alcohol at that time.
Isizathu senza ukuthi
Do you agree with-
ungaboni ke ngokugqamile ukuthi ngabe laba abanye abamangelelwa basasekhona ingoba mhlambe wawuphuze utshwala yini.
Uma ngikhumbula ngisho uma ngifika ngangisafika lapho sasingakaphuzi notshwala makhambe accused number 5.
If I remember well, at the time of my arrival, and that was at the time that accused number 5 left, we hadn't consumed liquor as yet. I don't know where you're getting that from.
At what stage did you consume liquor?
Uye waphuza utshwala ngasiphi isikhathi?
Ngalolelwa
Makwenzakalani ngamanye amazwi makwenzakalani ngasiphi isikhathi okanye?
ngiyangikhumbula isikhathi ukuthi ngiphuze ngalesikhathi sehambo accused number 5 kodwa ngiyazi ukuthi ngangisafika mayitha ngireversela.
I cannot remember at what stage or what time did I started to consume liquor. All I remember is that the accused person, when he asked me to reverse for him, I just arrived there.
You seem to have a selected memory. You can recall other things, others you cannot recall.
Khona izinto ezikhumbulayo kodwa ungayikhumbuli.
Njengomuntu nje isikhathi masakhona side mawucabanga ngekukhumbule konke.
Like any other person, or I'm just a mere person.
How long did you
That when something had happened some time ago, certain things you may not necessarily remember them.
How long did you spend with accused number 5?
Uthatha isikhathi esingakanani unomangalelo wesihlanu?
Before he reversed?
Angokuba umangalelo wesihlanu ayophuma okanye areverse.
Angeke ngikwazi ukukhumbula isikhathi ukuthi isikhathi 20 minutes 30 minutes.
I cannot remember the time, whether the time was 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I can't remember.
And furthermore, you testified that you followed accused number 2 and 3, accused number 1 and 2 to the bedroom, and the lights were switched off. You remember that part of your evidence?
Umangalelo kano wesibili wabalandela ukuya khona lapha bedroom kanti ke ama-light acinywa wabalandela. Uyakhumbula?
Ngiyakhumbula.
Yes, I remember that.
And when the light was switched off, you were not inside the room.
Uma ke kucinywa ama-lights ubungekho ngakulelo gumbi.
Izizathu sokuthi kucishwa ama-light ngicabanga ukuthi kwakuyizathu sokuthi kwakuthiwa nangibaba omncane. Light yakhona icisha ngesikhathi eside mama Mshololo kwaba nje into ethi nyatu yakhanya futhi same time.
It was.
Light.
It wasn't something that actually took, or the lights were not off for a long time. It was a spur of a moment thing. It went off and on again. But now, and there was something that was said to that effect that there is the younger paternal uncle.
Did you hear the question?
Uzwe umbuzo. Can you repeat that question?
When the light was switched off, you were not inside the room.
Uma
the
ke
bedroom.
ku switch off light ngakulela room ubungekho ngakuleyo room. Uma kucishwa le light wena ubungekho ngakuleyo room.
Bengiyongena phakathi.
Ubus-
Bengena phakathi emnyango because cishe ngikhona cishe akhanyiswa.
I was just stepping inside of that room at the time that it was switched off. I just walked into that room. I was inside.
And you did not know how it was switched off, that is why you asked.
I was ukuthi yaqinga kanjani ilokhu buza.
Bengibuza
What was I asking?
Ask who is switching off the lights when you
Ilokho
were
ke,
entering the bedroom.
Maungena ke wabuza ukuthi ubani ocisha light. Ubungazi ukuthi yaqishwa kanjani ngoba ke waqina ke usubuzile wena.
yingakho impendulo yakho nayithi le light iyahlupha yalunga futhi same time.
That is why the answer was that this light is actually defective, and right at that very time, it was also fine.
You further testify that accused number 5 came in when you were inside in the room. You remember that evidence?
Umangalo Sihlanu wafika, that is accused number 5.
5.
Wafika ukhona ngakuleyo room.
Yebo wafika ngaphakathi ngami no accused number 1 2 3 nokwabini
Yes.
yena wangena no accused number 4
Yes,
uye futhi wayehamba phambili.
yes. He got into that room, and I was inside of the room. I was together with accused number 1, 2, 3, and Kwabini, and he came into the room, walking in front, in the company of accused number 4.
Accused number 5 will tell this court that on the 26th of October, he never went to the Soto hostel in Hostel, and he did not get into the bedroom as you have testified.
Usho njalo ke umangalo Sihlanu thina nge-26 ka-October 2014 akazange ke aye khona lapho kuleyo hostel Hostel nokuthi ke wangena ngakulelo gumbi njengoba wena ke usuthule ubufakazi bakho ngakhona.
Hamba manje.
He's lying.
And will further tell this court that he was not in Foster's hostel with you.
Uthi ke ubengekho laphana Hostel nakhona nawe.
He does not know you.
Akakwazi.
He was in Johannesburg where he was working on the 26th of October 2014.
Beke seJoburg la esebenza khona nge-26 ka-October 2014.
Uqamba manje.
He's lying.
Is there any person who can testify, who can confirm that you saw accused number 5 in hostel, Foster's hostel on the 26th of October 2014?
Ngabe khona yini umuntu ongakwazi ukuthi ase ubufakazi bakho amanye amazwi ukusho ukuthi wena ke umbonile lona umangalelwa wesihlanu nge-26 ka-October 2014 khona laphana ehostel ukhona angakuseka kulokho?
Angicabangi lokho ukuthi ngavela ke ngicabanga ukuthi ngavela kubantu bebephenya icase. Abantu abakhulume nabe hostel akusimi nengikhulume nabo.
I think that it's information that can be gathered from the people that are investigating the case.
Okay, but there is no one that you know.
Wena ke uqobo lwakho akekho omaziyo.
Angiyimisela ukuzofaka omunye entweni engangeni kuyo.
I am not determined to bring a person into something that he shouldn't be a part of.
Yeah, the person will be confirming that he saw accused number 5 with you in hostel.
It's
It's not something that has got nothing to do with anyone. It's just confirming what you are saying.
Lo muntu phela ke uzoqinisekisa ke lokho kushoyo wena ukuthi umbonile umangalo wesihlanu nge-26 ka-October ehostel.
Why kumele achoose yini lo muntu ngengikwazi ukuchoose umuntu?
Why should that person be chosen by myself? I cannot choose a person.
But you are a police officer.
Kodwa ke uyipolice.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to the newspaper that you said you read on the... When did you read the newspaper?
Uthi
2
uyawayifuna
days
nini?
after ngicabanga ukuthi kwakuyi-Tuesday.
Newspaper.
Yeah.
2 days after.
What
I
was
think
the
it
picture?
was on a Tuesday.
What was depicted in that picture?
Kwakuvezwe imifanekiso
Regarding this
khona
case.
lapho. mayelana ke nale case kwakuvezwe ini
Was there
kule-
a description or there was there a picture referring to the suspects in this case?
kwakhona
Kwakune-
mhlawumbe incazelo okanye kwakhona ke umfanekiso mayelana ke nabasolwa kuleli cala.
kwakuney'thombe
There were photographs.
nesitori sakhona sibhalwe ngaleyo ndlela babesibhale ngayo leyo ma-journalist.
And now the formatting of that article had the pictures as well.
Yes, pictures for who?
Kwakukhona ke ama-pictures wobani,
Ungathi isithombe sikabani?
meaning whose picture?
Pictures for the suspects, for the complainants, for
Ama
what are the
picture,
pictures?
suspect,
Depicted.
Ama-suspect.
Yes.
the suspects' pictures.
Yes, can you describe those two pictures
Ngaphana ngencazelo yalezo ithombe eziwu-2
that you saw in that newspaper?
lezo oyibone khona lapho kuleyo lelo phephandaba.
I know that you said you cannot recall the name of the newspaper. Am I correct?
Ngiyakwazi lokho ukuthi ushilo ukuthi angeke ukwazi ukukhumbula igama lalelo phephandaba.
Uma ngikhumbula iy'thombe zaziwu-2.
If I remember well, there
Yilesi
were
ade
two.
ngisiboniswa u-advocate Nxumalo.
It was one of the pictures is the one that Advocate Nxumalo was.
Forget about that.
showing.
The answer, the question is, can you describe the pictures that you saw on the newspaper?
Ungakwazi ke ukukhana ngencazelo yalezo ke
Describe
okanye
them for me.
i-description yalezo ithombe oyibone kuleyo
Ubuso
newspaper.
bulapha obunama-dread nobunye
The-
ubuso obuvalwe nge-overhead, i-hood,
The,
isigqoko
the
sehlangene.
face, one of the faces that was depicted there, it had the dreadlocks on the head, as well as the other face that was covered with a hoodie.
Okay. The dreadlocks that you saw, it was the dreadlocks. Sorry, my lord, can I just rephrase? The description that you saw there, it had been given by the people who were inside the house. Did you read an article or you just look at the pictures?
Phela leyo description lapho ke ya hlinzekwa ilabantu ke abebekhona laphana endlini. Wena wayifunda leyo article okanye wavele wabheka ithombe phela?
Ngayifunda ngabheka ney'thombe.
I read the article and I also had to look at the pictures as well.
Okay, what did it say? Who gave that description of those pictures?
Mawufunda kuleyo article ithi ngubani ophene
Was it the
okanye
police or the people who were inside the house during the incident?
ubani owaphana ngaleyo description ke?
Angikhumbula ukuthi ngafunda ukuthi ubani uphene ngaleyo description, kodwa engikwaziyo ngafunda ukuthi zenziwe ubani, ngiyakhumbula zenziwe warrant officers DNK.
Now, I cannot remember who provided or furnished them with the description, but I remember who actually drew those pictures there. It was warrant officer Stiankam.
Okay, am I correct to say the description that was depicted there did not meet the description of accused number 3?
Ngabe kuyiqiniso ke ukuthi leyo description eyayivela kulezo ithombe khona lapho ibingafani nommangalelwa wesithathu.
Ngendlela engangibuka ngakhona isithombe sasinama-dread ayivulekile, kodwa lapha ngangibone engenawo ama-dread avulekile, waqinile.
Isithombe kwi-newspaper besinama-threads avulekile. Kusho njalo. And then kuphi la umbone khona hostel eqinile. All right. Now, the photograph on the newspaper, or the picture that was on the newspaper, had the loosened or the loose dreadlocks. But at the hostel, the dreadlocks were braided or fastened together.
Yeah, so what's the answer to my question?
Impendulo ithini? Umbuzo.
It did not meet the description of accused number 3.
Shuthi lo muntu
That's what I asked.
lona obevela kulesi sithombe kwi-newspaper, i-description leyo eyakhe ibengafani nommangalelwa wesithathu.
Yes.
Ngendlela engimbone ngakhona ayingafani nayo.
Uyavuma na?
Yebo, ngiyavuma.
Yes,
I agree.
that's all I wanted.
I agree. That is how I saw him. Yes, the description was not
And the
befitting
description-
accused number 3.
Thank you. And the description for the second suspect, what did you see
Kanti ke kulo
on
msolwa
the
wesibili,
photo?
mawubheka kuleso sithombe,
Yayiqonda
lo muntu
straight
ubefana nobani?
ku-accused number 2.
That person looked like accused number 2.
You did not understand the question.
I'll
What did
follow.
you see in the newspaper
Uboneni kwi-newspaper.
Newspaper where you read the
Newspaper.
article.
Uboneni.
ukhuluma ngamaphi manje accuse
Lalela, newspaper. Ubheka i-newspaper. Uboneni mayelana ke nalo suspect wesibili. Uboneni ilokho akubuzayo.
imopho wesibili baba
Ubone oqala ofake onama dreadlocks alusa ngisho. Lo wesibili uboneni mawumbheka yena.
ngibona accuse number 2
When I looked at the second suspect on the newspaper, I saw accused number 2.
I'll take it that you don't want to answer that question.
Ngizothatha
Okay?
ukuthi ke awufuni ukuphendula umbuzo.
Okay. After reading that article, and you have seen the warrant officer who had been referred to in that article, did you call him to say you've got this information about the real suspects?
Mawuqeda
Fonelanga?
ukufuna. I did not phone call him.
And the reason why you didn't call him?
Yes, yes,
Remember, you
I
were a
said-
police officer at that particular time when you read that article, and you had this information. Now, a warrant officer is being referred to describing the article. Why then didn't you go and report the matter that you've got this information, so that investigation could have been done regarding that article?
Ingani ungakwenzanga lokho ke? Khumbule phela khona isikhathi ngaleso sikhathi ke bowuyiphoyisa wena. Nakho ufunda i-article, nakho sokuvelela ukuthi lesi sithombe kwalezo ithombe evelela lapho ke warrant officer Steenkamp. Wangamfonela yini? Ngoba phela lo lwazi ke oqhamuka la, ulwazi olungakwazi ukuthi lisetshenziswe ekutheni kuphenywe icala. Wangamfonela yini?
ngangesimphenya leli cala
I wasn't the investigator of the case.
No, it's just as a witness.
Njengofakazi nje.
As a witness who is not just an ordinary witness, as a witness who is a police officer who happened to have information regarding the same incident that is being reported on an article.
Njengofakazi. Hayi ufakazi nje ojwayelekile kodwa ufakazi nje oyikhethile okuyiphoyisa onolwazi ke olumayelana ke neqala lona leli ke ukuthi liyaphenywa.
ingakho namhlanje sila
That is why we are here today.
No, we are not going to avoid that.
Ah,
At
okay,
the
well,
time
okay.
when you were reading the article,
Well-
why then didn't you report to the police that you have such information regarding this article?
Uyingani ngenkathi ufunda leyo article ingani ungazange wareporta kuleli phoyisa okanye emaphoyiseni
Or to any police officer, not just to be specific to the warrant officer who was written on that article. To any police officer to say you've got the information regarding this article.
nako noma yiliphi iphoyisa nje ubungakwazi ukuthi ufonele ingani ungazange wafonela ke emaphoyiseni okanye wareporta ke emaphoyiseni ukuthi ngine information ethize mayelana ke nale article lena ebhalwe phansi nanoma ke bengeyena ke warrant officer Steenkamp kodwa ke noma yiliphi nje iphoyisa ingani ungakwazanga ukwenza lokho.
hey mama Mshololo kusetshenzwa kanjalo ngeke ukuthi mawubona into bese suka nje uhambe uyoreport into engenafakazi bayo
Ma'am, sorry, that is not how we work. You cannot just be seeing something and then you go and report something that you do not have the supporting evidence of.
Are you done?
That is?
ngiqhubeka
I put it to you that you knew as a police officer at the time when you witnessed the incident, when you read an article, that if you have any information, you are supposed to report it to the police in order for that information to be investigated.
Ngibeka kuwena ke ukuthi nangenkathi ke ufunda le article obukwazi ukuthi unalo ulwazi lokuthi uma ngabe khona ke okuthize ke okutholayo okungasiza amaphoyisa ungakwazi ukuthi ufonele amaphoyisa ngaleso sikhathi uwatshele.
ngangeke ngiwasize ngangekho kakhumalo ngangababonanga irasta lidubula umuntu
I would not
accuse number mangi edubula umuntu so ngangeke ngifike kethi mina senginolwazi lakhona.
Now, I wasn't at the Kumalo's house. I did not witness a Rasta or a dreadlock person shooting at any person.
And
therefore, I could not have helped them in any way.
Don't confuse yourself. And I put it to you that the reason why you failed to execute your fundamental duties, to report to the police about the information that could have assisted the police and investigation at that particular time, it's because the incident on the 26th of October that we are referring to, that it happened at a Phosphorus Hostel, did not take place, and you did not have that information at the time when you read that article. That is the reason why you did not report that information. You only fabricated the story later.
Esona sizathu esenza ukuthi ke ungakwazi ukureporta lento lena ke uma wena usufunda iarticle uyabona ke ukuthi kukhona ulwazi oluthize ke olungakwazi ukuthi lisize amaphoyisa okanye lisize ukuphenywa kwaleli icala. Esona sizathu ukuthi awukhulumi lo iqiniso ke uma ukhuluma ngesigameko esenzeke nge-26 khona laphayana nge-26 ka October 2014 khona laphana Hostel. Yinto nje oyiphekela yona ke azange kube naleso sigameko ke sase Hostel yase Phosphorus.
Ukuphendula iphekeke.
Any comment?
Uthini ngokuphendula?
Ukuthi ngiyiphekele yona angiyiphekelanga yona. Iqiniso kuleyo nto.
As you say that it has been fabricated by myself, no, I did not fabricate it myself. And the truth to that matter, Makubega,
ukuthi njengoba ngangibonile accused number 2 ukuthi uyamatcha naleyo description, but kwangesiyo umsebenzi wami ukuthi ngithi sengine show ngalokho ngangingazi ukuthi kwenzakaleni kuphi.
and the fact that I had seen accused number 2 matches the description in the newspaper
And at the
would not be necessarily a confirmation that I now know what happened and where.
And at the time when you read that article, you did not know the person who was referred to in that article. You did not even know the accused number 2.
Ubungamazi ngaleso sikhathi ke lo muntu okhulunywa ngaye lapho kuleyo article futhi ubungamazi lona ummangalelwa wesibili ngekade usubona ke lo mfanekiso.
Ngangazi ukuthi kakhumalo bambeke kanjani kodwa mina ngangimbonile ukuthi bona bamdescribe kanjani kodwa mina ngibonile lo abakhulume ngaye la ngimbonile la.
Now, I did not know the description which was furnished by the Kumalos. However, the person that I saw on the newspaper, I remember that this one, I saw him at such and such a place.
Sorry, my lord, can I just rephrase? You did not know that the person, the second person who was depicted in that article was referring to accused number 2.
Ubungakwazi ke lokho ukuthi lo muntu wesibili owaye velela khona lapho kulelo phephandaba beku umsolwa wesibili okanye ummangalelwa wesibili ubungakwazi lokho.
As a court, please, my lord, I know it's an ethical thing, but I don't know whether Advocate Mshololo has got instructions from accused number 2 to put that version that she's putting now to the witness.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. Can I proceed or can we adjourn, my lord?
No, respond to your learned colleague. You don't want to respond to that.
My lord, I don't want to respond to that because I've said to the witness, he did not have the genuine information at the time when he read the article. He did not know. He did not know who was being referred to in that article.
Mr. Malori, why do you say it's an ethical question?
Well, she's putting it as a fact, my lord, that the witness did not know accused number 2, and one cannot do that, my lord, unless one has got instructions to put that such a submission to a witness.
Yeah, well, this court must take it for granted that she's got instructions. Because she owes this court a duty not to mislead the court.
Yes, my lord.
Ethically.
Yes, my lord.
Counsel can't put any submission, proposition, when she doesn't have instructions, because she's representing somebody's version. Is that not so?
My lord, I had laid the basis
No,
before
I'm talking
that.
about, I'm responding to your learned colleagues'
Yes.
query.
My lord, I had said you failed to report because you did not have that information, that evidence. That is why then I put after that, my lord, to say, when you read that article,
Okay, I'll
Thank
let
you.
it rest there.
thank you, my lord. My
Yes.
lord, I don't know if we can adjourn for a long break or...
That's all, yeah, okay,
Should I proceed?
until 2 o'clock.